Hello everyone, I'm going to talk to you today about structure-guided type 1 covalent inhibitors. Okay, I've been interested in studying kinases and their pivotal role in signal transduction. It's mainly what happens on their activation. There's a subsequent phosphorylation reaction that binds different proteins and start the different cellular responses. It's mainly have been into signal transduction, controlling cell division and growth and apoptosis. And this makes them a very good target for targeted cancer therapy, where they interfere with specific molecular targets, and they usually more effective to reduce the systemic toxicity instead of using the, different therapeutic agents, especially in case of metastatic tumor cells. And this is the clinically approved small kinase inhibitors so far by the FDA. There's about 28 different kinases that has been in use. And there is a lot of research going on in this topic, and it's expected to increase over time. And I'm going to speak today specifically about type 1 kinases, which is transforming growth factor beta activated kinase, which is a serine threonine kinase. It's a MAP3 kinase. It's characterized by being a key regulator in inflammatory and immune signaling pathways. You can see like type 1, it's introducing like a different signaling transduction, and especially coming down to AB1 and NFK-kappa, that is usually controlling stress responses, immunity, and inflammation in cancer. And on searching the literature, there was this compound, 5,6-oxyzenol. It's a natural isolated from fungi, and it has a broad profiling, and not only hitting this kinase, but other different kinases that have a similar cysteine residue. It's known to be irreversible type kinases with IC50 about 5.6 nanomolar, and the modification in this pharmacophore is actually synthetically challenging in order to optimize the selectivity and potency. And so we came up with a different scaffold that is based on 2,4-2-pyrimidine scaffold. Basically, the story begins with this inhibitor. It has been approved as irreversible EGFR kinase inhibitors. And on searching our library, we came up with the compound 1, which is a reversible type 1 inhibitor, about 34 nanomolar. And then we make crystal structure modification to make sure what's important to us, and we make a different modification to change the position of this acrylamide, so we are hitting the cysteine, and then to avoid this steric clash in this ring, we sort Cl chloride. And then we have a type 1 inhibitor is about 5.1 nanomolar, and this is irreversible inhibitor. And then for the biological evaluation, this compound is actually kept the type 1 inhibitors and greatly improved selectivity towards MEK and ERK, which is very similar in structure. And then we structure making different general modification in different parts of the structure, making 20 different analogs, and drive the structure-activity relationship for these compounds. And just to give you a hint about what structure-activity relationship, we make two different compounds. The difference is in the covalent inhibitors in this part, and you can see that we saw a different selectivity region. Now we are hitting TAC1 in this inhibitor, and it's completely absent, so that small modification can have a big effect on the kinome selectivity of this structure. And this was very remarkable. This compound had a very selective kinase selectivity, and then we were able to make a different selectivity, and compound 10 had about 100-fold selectivity of different kinases. And then we want to evaluate the pharmacological application, and different compounds came with different strength, and compound 5 that we showed earlier has the strongest inhibition, and 25 has the overall favorable kinase selectivity. and confirmed this by pull down and comparative label experiment. This is a quick experiment that we did about using a labeling streptavidin pull down using one of our structures that has been biotinylated and then pulled down, and we can see the disappearance of this peaks about the phosphorylation of TAC1, confirming its inhibition. And then we also made also evaluation about using them as rheumatoid arthritis to this is an inhibition of the activated cytokine secretion by different activators, and you can see that 0 indicates no effect and -1 indicates complete inhibition. We can see that compound 5 and the lead compound 5,7Z completely inhibited the inhibition at about 0.63 nanomolar. And we want also to see that their effect as anti-proliferative effect against different KRAS mutated cell inhibitors. And you can see we have scored, like our compounds have scored, compared to the lead compounds, they have higher potency and higher selectivity. And this is to sum up. So we have evaluated the TAC1 centered polypharmacology, both as cancer proliferation and in rheumatoid arthritis. And this is the people we collaborated with, a lot of people at Harvard and Texas University, Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, and MIT. And I would like to thank Fulbright Commission for, actually this was part of the research I've done on my Fulbright scholarship. So thank you all.